Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to have a quick go at soldering in preparation for when I start soldering the bus wires or the dropper wires for the bus wire. So I've got myself a small piece of track on a bit of plywood and I've drilled some holes, which as you can see next to it. So this is going to simulate my baseboard with my track, and I'm going to put some small bits of wire through here as if it's the dropper wires. So what I've got so far is some small bits of wire, some flux, some solder, a paintbrush, soldering iron. I've also got one of these helping hand things, which really is a helping hand. I recommend getting one. I've used one of these for years and they are excellent. The other thing I've got is a J-cloth and some water, which I'll explain in a bit. Saw it on another video on the internet, but we'll go into that in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up with the wire. Okay, so before I carry on with this, I'm going to tin the ends of these bits of wire. So the way I'm going to do that is I've got my flux, just going to dip them in. Torch on. Need to sort out the lighting in this loft. It's not ideal. Okay, so there's those. I'm just gonna hold them with some pliers, and then I'm gonna get some solder on the soldering iron. And then I'm just going to hoover it like that, and that's all there is to it. Do the other one. So the same again, bit of solder, and that's it. Should make it a lot easier when we come to actually doing the solder. Right, so now I'll go ahead and put the wires through. Right, so we've got our, I've put a little bit of flux on the track where I've put the wires through. I've trimmed the wires a little bit, there's no need for them to be really long. So the next stage is what we're going to do with our J-cloth. So I'm going to roll it up like that. I'm going to dip one end in the water, and dip the other end in the water, and then I'm going to lay it on the track like something like that. Put a bit of weight on it, hold it down, and on that one. Okay, so that is to try and dissipate the heat. So it's going to heat the tracks up, which may well melt the plastic sleepers. So we don't really want that to happen. I don't think it would be the end of the world if it did happen, but we're going to try and prevent it. I've heard other people put in like metal bulldog clips and just a lump of metal on it just to act as a heatsink. Okay, so now I get some fresh solder on the soldering iron, and then we'll go straight in. Let's get that one. Doing this from behind. So you don't want to get solder on the top of the truck. Okay, so I can see this one has melted the solder, melted the sleeper a bit. Okay. Right. Let's take this off. Make sure the tracks are cool. Okay, let's have a better look. Right. Okay, so it's connected, as is that one there. You can see where it's melted the track a little bit. So this is why I did this as an experiment. I will maybe have another go at this because I'm not brilliantly happy with this. I've been routing. Let's have a. You see this? I've ran a cable all the way around. As you can see, single cable at the moment, and I've started running some droppers, which you may have already seen on the top section here. They're not connected or anything, they're just sort of in preparation. I've also done one there. So each dropper will connect to 2 tracks. I'm going to have 4 or 5 tracks in total, so hopefully this will work okay. It's a bit of a pain soldering these. I might try a different technique. I might try soldering them straight to the fish plates, and you can buy them already done like that. It would save hassle, really, save the risk of damaging the tracks. So I might have a go at that. So further to my last experiment, like I said, I thought I'd have a try at soldering on the fish plates, like that, if the camera picks it up. I think this is easier. So the way I did that, I got an old piece of track, just literally the track, and I put it in a little helping hand with a fish plate over the end. I did this so that it kept the shape of it without melting it, and then I've just soldered onto it. So it's not brilliantly clean solders, but I think it's if you can put your dropper wires where you've got fish plates, which to me makes sense. There might be a reason why other people might not want to do it, but to me it makes perfect sense. Means it's easy to get the track up without having to disconnect or unsolder things. So by doing that, I think I could save myself a lot of hassle. So I might just spend an afternoon soldering lots of these up, which seems to work alright. So in my opinion, that's the best technique. So there we have it. That's the fish plates soldered with the dropper wires and connected up, which looks pretty good. You can just about see the red wire. You can see the big lump of solder. I'm not too worried about that. The ballast is going to help cover most of it. Plus this section is actually going to be slightly... I'm probably going to have a retaining wall, so the top section of that is going to be hiding the track pretty much anyway. So I'm fairly pleased with that. I'm sure I will get better at it the more I do. Thanks. Right, so I've wired up the select controller to the dropper wire. It's not running through the bus at the moment. It's literally just running. It's just connected straight to the dropper wire. And first time it all works. So I'll just put this little local on. It doesn't seem to have any issues. Back the other way. Turn that on. That's probably better. Okay, so that is actually feeding the whole track, so this track here should also work. Faultless, absolutely faultless. Very pleased with that. So only about 30 of those to do in total, so better get to work.